Like, I think if there's one thing we've proven throughout the course of human history, it's that whenever we decide to put control over what people are allowed to not even say, but think in a way, it never ends well. And listen.
Well, that's the crazy thing, because it's happened in the UK and they try and do it here too, but you guys have got a bit more freedom than we have in the UK. But
what do you mean?
They try and ban. They've tried really hard to ban drill music in the UK. You know, they tried to ban it. The authorities, the government basically had this thing with YouTube where they could take down any drill music they wanted. Type in, I think it's called Operation Domain. There was like a police operation to basically take down as much drill music in the UK as possible. We ain't got the freedom of speech like you got, so a lot of songs got taken down. But this is the thing I try and say, is the music is a representation of what's going on. And to the authorities, they need to they're trying to stop drill music, because the drill music shows just how bad they've let communities become. Because at the end of the day, it's not Chief Keef's fault that 1 million people are getting killed every day on Chief Keef's block. He's making music, like you say, storytelling. He's showing a representation. Any of these will work. He's showing a representation of how bad things have gotten in society in his area, in the south side of Chicago. And the government, they don't want people seeing that. Like the same thing with the UK. So they've been trying to censor drill music. And the way I see it is, it's like the government and the police are doing such a bad job of keeping these communities safe. They don't want this music being out there, because that's letting people know how bad that this stuff's getting.
Can we go to the Vice article, Alessi? That one looks like the most...
Yeah, so the Met Police is the sort of, the main police organization in London. They've had a whole thing where they basically have the back door to take stuff down on YouTube. And so if you're a big artist... back door? Because we don't have the freedom of speech like you have. So
but when you say back door, like they can block it like North Korea blocks stuff, and China blocks stuff?
They send paperwork to YouTube, and YouTube have to do what they say, basically. So there's a whole thing with freedom of speech where they had Meta take down a bunch of videos by this rapper called Chinks. And he was like trying to fight it, but they were basically like, they were saying that the way that the police got Facebook to take down his music video was like beyond what the law would even allow. Like, and then they had to. I don't think it went to court, but they basically had some back and forth where Facebook like had to fight against the police to let this guy release his music on the platform, and Facebook were basically arguing like, you can't just pop up and tell us to just take down this artist because you don't like it. He's not even said anything. So the main thing that happens in the UK, right, if you hop on a freestyle and you diss somebody and you say, Big T is a bitch and we stabbed him and we're going to get him, that'll be down. The Met Police will take that down immediately.
Whoa.
But at the same time, if you make a song and you're talking about violence in your community in UK drill, but you don't say anyone's name, technically that should be allowed to stay up, because the way they get you in the UK is if you diss a op by name, it's like incitement to violence, and they'll take that song down, and they'll be within their rights to take it down. But if you don't say any names and you just say, yo, we're out here doing stabbings and selling drugs and it's crazy, you've technically not broken any rules. But they still try and take those down. They still try and get them. And a lot of the artists that have been through these situations in the UK that are on probation, you got artists like Digger D, where because they're on probation, or we have it's called license, there'll be certain restrictions in the license. They'll be like, you can't make songs about these things or that thing. So like I say, we don't have the freedom of speech like you guys have. But if you're on probation in the UK and you're a rapper, they'll be telling you, yo, you can't rap about these things. You're not allowed to talk about these things. You can't make a skit about these things, this area. You can't be seen in this area. All of these restrictions that they put on people, it's crazy. But that wouldn't slide here, because I feel like you guys have got more freedom of speech. You can't be telling people what to say.
Well,
but they'll give them a list of things that they can't say and they can't talk about and take down their videos. It's messed up, man.
Well, let's. I want to respond to that. I want to read this article though that you were saying to pull up. So YouTube is where this is from 2022. It was on Vice News, which I think isn't a thing anymore. But YouTube is working with Met Police to take down rapid drill videos. For London's rapid drill artists, releasing music is something that happens under the watchful eye of the Metropolitan Police, according to new data obtained by Freedom of Information laws. The London-based force referred 510 music videos to be taken down from YouTube in 2021. In 96.7% of cases, the clips were removed. Let's scroll down, Alessi.
And so the crazy thing about this that I think, right, you've got these young guys that are coming out of really difficult environments. The music's one of the only ways that they're able to make legit money and get out of these situations.
Yeah.
And the Met Police are coming in saying, we're going to take all your shit down. This is not an option for you. Find some other way of making money.
Whoa.
And that's pushing them back to behave in those ways that got them in trouble in the first place. So they really don't care about policing the communities that they're talking about. They just don't want people even talking about what's going on there.
That's right. Okay, this marks a significant increase in previous years. In 2020, there were 125 referrals made, resulting in 124 removals. A year prior to that, 110. were referred and 107 removed. The 2021 figures mark a year-on-year increase of almost 300%. A separate report from the New York Times puts the 2020 removal figure at 319, which still presents a significant 60% year-on-year increase. And there it is, all that stuff you just mentioned about Digga D and them trying to take it down.
So they've had artists be sentenced for performing. So the Skengdo and AM, a couple of really good rappers out of South London, they were given a suspended sentence for performing a song. So
they were literally in court given suspended sentences for performing a song.
Yeah, because they've been banned. They basically were banned from performing this song. So they put restrictions on them to say, if you cannot perform this song anywhere. You can't be out. You can't be your song that you wrote about what you're going through and all the situations that you've been through. You cannot perform this, and they performed it, and they got a sentence. And I think one of them's still in jail. I think AM's out.
Now look, you're talking about the UK, and you keep on saying like, well, we don't have the same laws over there. It's not as good. And objectively speaking, you're right about that, from what I know at least. But this is, we have some of these problems here in America too. I have not really seen anything with music. If there's people out there who want to correct the record in the comment section, go ahead. But I haven't really seen that. It just gets scary to me when you start getting to like art, which is the oldest human expression known to man since the caveman were drawing fucking clay on the stone, and you start to say, oh, this can go and this can't. We're getting towards this like AI world. I'm not trying to get too meta here now, but like, how's this going to be policed? And that question alone is already a problem because you can't. Like, I think if there's one thing we've proven throughout the course of human history, it's that whenever we decide to put control over what people are allowed to not even say, but think in a way, it never ends well. And listen, nobody wants to go walk out in the middle of the street right now and see a KKK rally. Yeah. None of us want to see it. Well, I mean, if there's a crazy person out there, they do. But like, no normal people want to see that. We think that's like the worst thing ever. The problem with stopping it from happening, though, is actually worse than the problem of it happening, believe it or not. Like, I remember there was a tweet, it's maybe 4 or 5 years ago now, where I'm like, "Ooh, this is it working." There was some bullshit KKK rally it was in Georgia somewhere, but it wasn't Atlanta. And there was a video on Twitter that went like kind of viral of them taking a video of this rally, and the whole internet was laughing at them. And I'm like, that's how it's done. Because you're like, look at how awful these people are. Let's draw attention. They want attention? Great. We'll give them attention. We'll show them what scum they are. And we'll do the worst thing that makes people feel the worst about themselves, which is we will literally laugh at them in the middle of saying what scum they are. That's free speech working, right? So if you get to a point where like even the art where people are expressing things now becomes no, you can't say that. We're fucked, man.
There's something that crazy that happens when you stop people talking. Like if you shut down the KKK rally and you tell them they can't talk, that amplifies it so much more because it's proving that you're afraid of what they have to say. Right. And if some racist KKK guy wants to try and convince me that to be racist, that's never going to work because most people are going to see that and hear that and think it's bullshit. They're going to think those people are stupid. They're going to think they're ignorant. And sometimes I feel like the best way to convince people of that kind of thing is to let them put that stupid shit out there. Everyone's going to laugh at it or they're going to disprove it. And that's why like in this situation, you got the Met Police. They want to stop these young rappers that are coming out of these circumstances from talking about what's going on because they know they're scared of the truth about how bad they let these communities get is, right? So it's like, it just goes to show you how powerful the music is that the police are like, we don't want anyone knowing how bad we've let these streets get. We don't want anyone to know how bad these things are going on. So the idea that they're gonna censor the rappers is just crazy.
Thank you for watching the video, guys. If you haven't already subscribed, please smash that subscribe button and check out this clip's full podcast episode by clicking here or in the description below.